Nick, you're recording this shit, right?
Yo, I've been recording for 10 minutes, dude.
This is how we like to start. It's a good way to start.
Seating table 116 with Myron Batsa.
Welcome to the chaos.
We just jump in and go, but man, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the chaos, and do we definitely have a chaotic episode today? The man sitting across from me is one of the first people I got to start off in the festival world with. He was my roommate for the first year and a half. I was the keeper of Myron. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Myron Batsa.
That is the best intro ever, the keeper of Myron.
There was a sign on my desk that actually said that at one point.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you had to keep me calm, and I couldn't get up without asking you for permission, even though I was your boss.
Yeah.
No, wait, we weren't.
Yeah, but so when I started at Insomniac, Myron was the one who pretty much, he headed up the VIP, I headed up the Skydeck. It was two departments that worked under the same umbrella.
It was the first time we split it, though.
Yeah, so, but me and him had to work very closely together because we still operated POS systems, and I was still very new to this whole festival world, and he's been in events for a long time. So he kind of was like my crash course, and Myron is the best event producer, hands down, in the U.S. And I'm not saying that just to boost my boy up, but when you hear what some of the things that this man has put together, I've never seen somebody who can work like this guy can. So
Well, I'm super excited. Yeah, I'm super excited because I'm like, if somebody's listening, Myron was mentioned in a past episode multiple times, and I have yet to meet him. So you're like a legend sitting in front of me now. And I got to have a shot with you, so I'm excited.
I know. My shot's kicking in. It's great.
So let's definitely get into it. Tell everybody where you're from, kind of a quick little background of your story, what you've done, and let's list off some of the big things that you've accomplished, man, because we've done some really cool shit.
Oh, wow. You asked a lot of questions, and my edible kicked in, too, at the same time. That was great.
Do we have any Pringles?
I am from Chicago. Boom, Midwest, and what were the other questions?
Great episode, guys. Let's go.
What were the other questions? How did I get into nightlife?
How'd you get into the event hospitality industry?
Are you okay? So Chicago, and then you moved to LA, or?
Oh, Chicago. Then I went to Iowa State, another Midwest place. Great because it was super corn-filled. Stayed there for a while, and then my friends were like, you need to leave Iowa, because I was like, I could stay here forever. It's great. And I was working at nightclubs, and then my family were like, yeah, you need to leave because you're from Chicago and you're still in Iowa. So from there, I did this modeling contest and I got a contract, but I didn't fulfill. But they wanted me to move to LA, and I was like, great. I worked for a company that actually had a office here, and I transferred. I thought I was getting a raise. I really got demoted. You know how much it costs to live in LA? It sucks. Did not know that.
My favorite part is that you were happy, and everybody's like, you need to go.
You need to go.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know. I was comfortable and content in Iowa, and they're like, what? Yeah. Why?
Go struggle.
Yeah. You need to make something yourself. Get out of this comfortable house that you live in, and you go move somewhere where you can barely afford a room, and you have to live with someone else. And I don't even think I had a bathroom.
Yeah.
It was weird. I was living with family.
Right.
So, yes. And then, what was your last question?
So then how'd you get into events?
So, like I said, I worked in nightclubs before I moved here to LA, and I was working for an investment company, and I was like, I'm going to be something. I'm 24. I'm like, this is great. I don't even think I was 24, but whatever. For the story, I'm 24. And then I got really bored, and I had met Andrew Mitchell, and he was like, yo, you should meet this girl, Kim. She has an event company. And I started working events with Kim. And she introduced me to a lot of people. We did some really cool events with her. And yeah, met a lot of other people and just started making connections and moved around. Then met Brett. Then started working for Insomniac. And the list goes on.
I feel like Kim has been the gatekeeper of all you guys.
Oh my God. If you ask Kim right now, if she was standing right here, you'd be like, hey, Kim, what's your job? She's like, I'm the maker of people. I made you. I made Mike.
And she does tell people that.
Yeah, she does. And like literally she'll call me like, hey, what am I doing today? And you're like, what? And she's like, I need to do something. And you're like, oh, let me find you. All of us will scurry the land of LA to go find something for Kim to do so she can let her hair down.
Wow.
Like if Kim is at a festival, like she wouldn't even be working with us. So me and Myron would have the VIP department in the Sky Deck. She's like, hey, I need this in the artist lounge. We stop what we're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And make sure Kim has like we'll make our lives harder to make sure Kim has what she needs.
You know, I put on a concert this weekend. Kim came with her daughter.
Yeah, she sat with me.
Oh yeah, she parked in production. Like she got all the way backstage and she's like, oh, this is great. And her daughter's like, is this how you normally go into like concerts? She's like, I don't know.
She also has the best birthday party every year.
Oh, she talked about that a little. I can't say anything.
Yeah, we can't talk about them on the podcast.
No.
But like her birthday parties are fucking wild.
It's like the stuff you see on TV when you're living in the Midwest where I'm from. And you're like, this shit's not real. Like they made this up for TV. And you're like, wait, I'm in it.
Yeah. I need to meet this unicorn.
Oh, she's incredible.
Oh my God, you
I'm
should.
sure I've crossed paths
You've
with
definitely crossed paths with her, but like
You should have her on this show. The shit she could tell.
We'll definitely reach out to Kim. But but like Myron said, like when she'll meet people and they're like, oh yeah, I know Mike Tatum, and she goes, I know him too. I made him. And people come back and tell us that like this lady Kim said she made you guys. We're all like, I mean, yeah, kind of roundabout.
She does, and like our circle is like, I mean, we're all kind of spread out now, but like, I mean, her and Brett are like kind of the middle people.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing now is, as we gone through the years, we all work together, but now we all run our own massive events all over the world. But Sundance is the only event that we all still come together to do. And it's gotten tougher over the years because now, like, we're all, I mean, everybody's got their own little ego now and their own thing going on, and then we all want to come in and do it our own way now. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic when we all get together, and then there's a lot of Chiefs and definitely not enough Indians on that one, too. But, we've had some fucking sick time at Sundance.
I mean, Sundance was great. It was so much fun. It's like my 8th one. And which one did I meet you? Like, did we start at?
I met you at a Maxim party.
Oh, well,
Maxim Halloween party with Stu.
Love Maxim.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying the first time we bartended together, we ran the bars at Sundance.
Oh, yeah.
You and I. And it was like, was it Grey Goose?
It was the Grey Goose,
my
Grey
God,
Goose Lounge and the Chase Lounge we ran.
It's the best thing I've ever done in my life. Working a bar, like you're bartending. So, I mean, we really weren't bartending.
And it's open bar, right? So
There is.
So much
I don't even
better
think that I don't even know if we ever made tips. Like, to be honest with you, did we ever make tips?
Yeah, I mean, no. Nan would make tips.
Oh, Nan did.
Nan would make tips.
But Nan would be the one that's standing at the end of the bar. She would make the drink because people would be like, "Can I get a vodka tonic?" She's like, "Here's a gin and here's a rum and coke. Like, go away from me." And then they would take the drink and she'd be like, "Excuse me, did we forget something?" And you'd be like, "Oh, did she just say that?" And she'd be like, I am not working for free. And that, like, whoever it was would just be like, oh my God, here, take my wallet. And meanwhile, we're over here on this side of the bar, like, people are like, yo, excuse me, can I get a drink? And you're like, what? Can I have a tip? Yeah, don't put bleach in colored clothing. Like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, Nan's like raking it up. She's like, Sundance the best time of my life. I'm paying for Sundance. Like, what the fuck?
But we've had some fucking hysterical times at Sundance. However, on the opposite side of it, though, a big part of this show that we really like to get into, and I know, Myron, we can definitely touch on a lot of this from some of the shit we've dealt with, is what has been some of like the mental side of this and like the hard times that we've dealt with on some of these event sides and the pressures that really come with doing a lot of these events. Because let's be real, I love you to death, but we have cracked under the pressure sometimes and didn't talk for a few months in certain situations.
You mean like New York Pride, where
like New York Pride?
You kind of left. I feel like, did you leave? You're like, yeah, the keys on the what is the thing in the middle of the beds? Because we were in a same room then too.
Me and Myron shared a hotel room together in New York City for a month.
Wow.
I met his family. Like, it was a great time until the end.
Yeah, until the actual event started.
Until the end of the event, he was like, you know what? I am fucking sick of you. And I was like, you know what? You can meditate the fuck out of the room. It was really bad. So I think a month is like our max time we can spend in the same room together.
Yeah, we've learned.
But yeah, dude, we've done some crazy shit.
Well, before you get into, how did you? Okay, so I want to know how you took over these big events and who put you in charge of that. Like, what was your what? How did you put your stamp on something for somebody to say, "Hey, I want you to put on this big event"? Like, were you always somebody who just threw parties naturally, or you knew how to?
I did actually throw in Iowa. I threw my first party for myself, and I threw with my friend Chris. He's white. A Bacardi and Cola party. No, it was Bacardi and Coke, something white and dark, and we did a photo shoot. It was like cowboy thing. I don't know. It was crazy. At the time, I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. Like, throw my own party. And I think it was a white party, so like, what the fuck? But moving in LA, I'm trying to think of what my first event that someone like was like, here you go.
Probably a Kim party.
Here's the keys.
First, like when you got the keys to it?
Yeah.
Might have been a Kim party.
Oh, man. That is a fucking party. I don't even know if I should say that. Can I say that? Are you editing this?
Oh, we'll leave it in.
We ran a Halloween party. It was like just celebrities all over the place doing just all the damnedest things. And we ran that. It was me and Andrew. That was it. That was my party. And then from there, Brett, I think, came to it and was like, you need to come run some stuff for Insomniac. And we slowly ran into that. And I just started taking over stuff. I kind of just like taking over stuff.
You just kind of fell into it, and people.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just like you wear so many hats, like and everything, and like the more hats you can wear, the more they're like, oh my god, you can do this. Let's add that on your plate. I'm not gonna pay you more.
Right.
You can put that on your resume. Well, at some point, you have so many bullets on your resume. You're like, wait, when are you guys gonna add the commas in my fucking paycheck? And when you start asking those questions, they're like, okay, well, let's give you a shot. I wish they'd have told me when they add commas to your paycheck, they have so many more responsibilities, like hiring people or firing them. I can't fire people, but, trying to do
Mike's
that.
job.
That's your job?
Mike's.
Mike is good. Oh, he is good at firing people. So good. Did I answer your question?
I want to know about these parties. What makes a Myron party special? Because I've obviously never been to one. Maybe I have. Maybe I just...
So wait,
that
I would say like one of the best parties that Mike has been involved with that I got to throw was when we did this party for Vice at Sundance, of all places. Mike actually wasn't involved with the party whatsoever at all. So we're planning this party, and at first it was like nobody was going to it. And I was like, oh my God, Vice doesn't even have it. Like we have 16 people RSVP'd. And I wasn't really worried because I was like, there's a grid that goes around, a secret grid at Sundance where all the parties are. And I was like, anyone see Vice? Like, we're fucked. But it was like, great. So we get to Sundance and we still only had 100 people RSVP for this party. So we made the decision, like, keep the RSVP open forever. Like, we got to get people to RSVP. Otherwise, like, it's just going to be shit. So the day of the party, RSVPs all of a sudden start coming in from everywhere. We're like, oh shit. We got to like 350. I think the venue capacity was 200. And we're like, that'll be a good number. There was an email that said, hey, turn these off. Turn off RSVP. We're done. I don't think that ever happened. It didn't. So I'm running another like press thing at the Waldorf or some shit. It was really fancy. It was awesome. They had really good food. I'm about to sit down and eat, and I get this like text like SOS. And I was like, what's up? What's going on? I'm about to eat this like, I don't even know what it is. It's like steak with some sauce on it that looks fancy as fuck. And I'm eating with some celebrities and it feels great. Please don't interrupt this. And they're like, so the RSVPs never got turned off. The venue capacity, again, is 250. And there are 3,000 names on the RSVP list.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, well, they're not all going to come. Like, that's not a big deal. And she's like, no, the party's an hour and a half away and people are starting to line up now. And I was like, shit. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm not going to try the steak. And whatever the celebrity was that was sitting next to me, I'm sorry, I have to leave. I have a prior engagement. I like call an Uber and I'm like, all right, cool. I get there and she's like, I get another SOS. Oh, by the way, the door guy quit. And I was like, quit? It hasn't even started. He's like, nope. He saw the line and was like, I'm not dealing with this. So I'm like, oh, yes, I am super fucked. First party I throw, I don't have a door guy. There's so many people at the door, which is normally not a problem, but today it will be. And I guess we're going to have to do this. I need to find somebody. So I was like, oh shit, Mike's here. I was like, Mike, what are you doing? He's like, just hanging out, about to start a party at, I don't know, I think it was Stella or some.
Yeah,
I mean,
Stella
first off, like, it's a brand party. And I was like, what's up? I have a problem. I need a door guy, someone that's really good, and it's going to be for a crazy fucking party. Tons of celebrities. I don't know, but can you get there in the next 45 minutes? I'm on my way. And he's like, yeah, sure. Anything for you, my. And I was like, oh, yes. He didn't even ask me how much he's getting paid. I think this might be volunteer. Great.
This is how much I love this man.
So we get to the door, and I mean, the line was so crazy. The police were like, excuse me, you have complaints? And I was like, no one's inside yet. And he's like, no, from the residence 3 blocks down. And we looked down the street, and I shit you not, there was just a line of people, like, further than I'd ever seen. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. But meanwhile, there's like cars trying to back out of their driveway, and they're like, who are these fucking people? The bar is 3 blocks down. And I'm like, I know, right? So Mike is running through the street with rope and stanchion to stanchion off people's driveways. We had like 4 or 5 different like checkpoints. I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's impressive, Mike.
Stanchions
are heavy if you can carry more than 2.
He was just running through. First off, Mike's running through the street with stanchions. Like, why didn't no one get that on a fucking camera?
Plus, also, it's Sundance, so it's like 16 degrees outside. Right. It's freezing.
And you want to look good because everybody else looks good for some reason in their fucking, like, what, moose knuckle and
yeah.
What's the other jacket?
I mean, Sundance is still an event. Everyone's decked the fuck out.
That's the name of the brand, Moose Knuckle. It's the actual cool ass.
I had a different picture of that.
It's not? What's the name of it? What's the name of it? Look it up. You need to look up Moose Knuckle jackets. They're fucking cool. You're laughing, but I'm serious. And if they're listening, I would like a free jacket because I still don't have one.
Oh my God, it's real.
I told you. I just wanted you to know. And you know what? Now, if you get royalties from that, I would like a paycheck. Thank you.
Now it seems like a good time for a break. All right, let's get back on track, man. This is fucking hilarious.
Sorry.
So what happened? So Mike starts running the door and...
So my boss comes down. It's like she comes down. Her name's Becky. She's cool as fuck. She's from Ireland, so like half the time I don't know if she's angry or happy, but they all sound the same.
Becky. Man. Yeah.
And Becky's fucking fierce. She's like, Myron. That's the worst Irish accent I've ever heard. So she's like, Myron, I need you and Mike to stay at the door and like run it. Mike's like, bet. They brought out.
Did he have his hat on like this?
No, he had on his.
He's just shitting all over me today. Fuck, god damn.
No, but you know what he did have that's like I think is equally as douchey is the gloves that have the fingers that are out that you can fold back.
Bro,
like
I'd be able to still text them.
He's like, I still got a text. I'm like, you're the only person. Like, those gloves do not work in negative 10 degrees. But he's like out there with his hands like, oh, it's so cold. Cover your fucking fingers. Like, what the fuck? So anyway, Becky is like at the door. Like, you guys need to run this. And I'm like, all right, cool. So Mike's like, you know what we should do? Good cop, bad cop. But we're not going to know which one we're playing.
So much fun with this.
So much fun. Like he would have a person and be like, excuse me? What do you want? My friends are in this party. Oh, are they? What's their names? Rachel? Oh, yeah, go. You know what? You go have fun with Rachel. Wow, that was nice. Next person comes up. Excuse me? What do you need? So, I rep Keanu Reeves and, get the fuck out of line. Get out of line. Get out of line right now. No. Don't name drop while you're trying to get into a door. And I'm like, oh no, Mike, you're a bad cop. I gotta jump in. I'm like, oh, can you text Keanu right now? And then what? I don't know, Mike. What does he need to do? Nothing, because he's not coming in. That was it.
We played the game for a while too. Be like, I have somebody at the door. I need you to have Mike's approval. You gotta text Mike.
But he was saying that though.
As I'm saying that, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And they're like, okay, so who do I need to text? I'm like, you need to text Myron and tell Myron Mike says it's okay for it to come in. And now they're asking around for who the fuck is Myron. And they're asking everybody online.
Oh my God.
And then we just kept doing this whole. He was standing next to me the entire fucking time.
I was like, oh yeah. They're like, tell your contact to text Mike. Mike's right there. And they're like, they say they don't know Mike. Oh, ask him to text Myron. I would say that.
Yeah.
And we just go back and forth. It was great. It was so great.
That's where we got a lot of our fucking.
I actually think that was a stress reliever.
Oh,
like,
definitely was.
Bartending and door, especially for rich people and celebrities. Oh my God.
See, like the thing.
Who needs a Ileana Vizan?
And it's funny because we make it funny. We had to make it a good time, but like the amount of things that we have to do from finding venues, venue walkthroughs, hiring staff, make sure sponsors are all aligned, make sure all our managers are aligned, make sure the schedule is there, the security is lined up, all the flights are there, all the press are coming in, setting up. The press is like, if there was one the one that Nan talked about with it too. We did 67 events in 6 days in 5 venues.
Oh my God, that was so rough.
And me and him have to keep track of all of it, everything.
Yeah,
so
your hands are kind of in the middle of all of it too, because you kind of, when you're running the event, you like need to know when your press is gonna get there, even though like it doesn't affect anything else, and like how it affects your door, and if you can start your party at a certain time, or when can you serve food, because you know the celebrity's gonna get there and they need a special plate or 5 because they have like 700 people with them. Like, what, you know, there's so many things. It is very stressful sometimes.
And then, so Sundance was stressful but we always joke about New York Pride. It was one of my most learning experience festivals that I was extremely grateful for, but hated at the same time. We were working with the New York Union. The New York Union does not give a fuck.
Oh my God.
If they start at 7 a.m. and they go to 4, at 6:58 they're standing there looking at their watch. They get an hour break, they're timing that shit. They will not walk. If they're done at 5, at 4:57 the keys are turned off and they're sitting there waiting. They don't give a fuck.
I'm still kind of afraid of the New York Union, so I'm just gonna say that they were a pleasure to work with.
No.
And
a lot of my boys are in it, and I love them all to death. But
I wish them the best.
Yes. But they don't care. So now me and Myron are overseeing. This is the first time ever World Pride is in the United States. 6 million people have come to New York for this event.
Oh my God.
We're at Pier 97 overseeing the Madonna concert. It was the most stressful thing we ever had, because now on top of all that we just told you, now we're dealing with an icon.
Stop you for just a second? It was also more stressful because we had 2 hurricanes.
That too.
We evacuated twice. It was,
which is like unheard of, right?
It's not even. So we had day 1, hurricane. Day 2, they were like, it blew half the tent and the structure away. That is crazy. Day 3, I was just like, just drown us all.
One of the craziest stories I ever have from events. The festival shuts down. 2,000 people are standing outside these gates on the side of the FDR. Our dock, where I kept all the liquor, and I had about 100 pallets of booze, ice, all the things like that. Everyone was there. Was about 1,000 people in between. So they wouldn't open the festival until we were able to get back inside and stock everything up. We stocked up 6 golf carts. We drove up the side of 59th Street, down fucking 11th, and came down the street in golf carts across the fucking FDR Drive.
And that was the craziest
thing. Of this fucking festival to load everything up to make sure we can go back on.
Yo, but I will say, even though Mike, didn't talk to me after this festival for 3 months, props to him and Bree, because like they got in like 25 minutes, they restocked like 12 bars. Wow. They got POS systems back up. They got all the staff like motivated, because like after that, what do? You're like, hey, by the way, I know we just had a hurricane, but pull your shit together and start pouring some fucking drinks, because it's got to be crazy.
Also, our staff, though, we ran 13 bars, 9 VIP bars, and a 20-service bottle service deck. All of our staff were volunteers that have never worked in nightlife, a bar, or served before. They were there for the free Madonna ticket. So a lot of them were just
Mike gave him a crash course in a 2-hour session in a ballroom. It was great.
On how to pour drinks, make shots, do the whole thing, and then swipe a credit card for the proper amount and use a POS system. I had 2 hours to train 160 volunteers.
Can I tell you that regular festivals and nightclubs, they get like 3-day sessions that are 8 hours long
with professional people.
Yeah, people who've been
done
it before.
We get in. Yeah, they've done this. Like these are just professional like staff. He does 3 days full where you're just like, you're gonna get a lunch break, like all of that. We had 2 hours, and he's like, I'm gonna send you the rest of it via email. Like what?
On a POS system I never used before either.
And the bars ran really, really fucking good. Like this was his like big time to shine. And he fucking did it. Like I was like,
there was a point where Myron came. He's like, I need you to take a break. I was like, no. He's like, bro, you're about to pass out. You need to take a fucking break.
But that's the hard part of being like in charge. You just like
you don't get
because you have your hands in so many pockets of like this, like you're afraid to like, not that you don't think that this ship is going to sail without you, but that if something does fail, you're the bridge that's going to figure out who to connect to get to fix it.
Like this festival was falling down behind the scenes completely, but nobody knew. And then on top of that, we had an icon who needed 24-hour everything. So the biggest day of the show is the day before. It's your load-in. That's where we bring in all the booze, all the setup, all the bars. That's when we finalize everything. You're on site for fucking 18 hours that day. But on this day, there was a 6-hour time frame that only 6 of us were allowed in the venue because Madonna was rehearsing. And nobody could be on site. So we had to
close down the stage.
Everything for 6 hours, which on the day before show was probably like we were all losing it because we were already so behind.
That's like your prime setup time.
Also, it was only supposed to be like the actual runner show said it was only supposed to be like 3 hours, and she decided to like practice like for some other show. I mean, I like Madonna, but like seriously, she was working on another show at our show, rehearsing, and you're like, hey, excuse me, Mrs. Madonna, question. Love your album. Also, you're awesome. But can you get the fuck off my stage? Like, so that we can get some back to work so that you can do this same thing tomorrow? Well, that'd be great. Thank you.
So the night before Madonna was Grace Jones, so we couldn't let Grace Jones know that we had a special trailer for Madonna, so we had to keep Grace Jones.
Oh my God!
I remember, so Madonna only gets a specific trailer,
and so does Grace Jones.
But Madonna's trailer was like in North Carolina, so it had to be driven up, and then we had to have a 24-hour security guard there for 3 straight days, even though she didn't get there until 3 hours. She was only there for 3 hours on the 3rd day.
Wait, can I just say, not only did she makes it super specific, but she's like the license plate of the trailer that I like is like she was down that her team is specific. There's literally only one of them, so you're like, I need to reserve this 3 months in advance.
Shit.
We had 5 days. It was crazy,
and she wouldn't go. Like it's insane, some of the requests and things that we have to deal with. And I handle all the F&B side always, and then he handles like the executive side or the administrative side when it comes to all the permits and stuff like that. So we also need to be on the same page all the time too, because I can't go and start booking people until I know what type of permits we have, what we're allowed to have in there. Like when it comes to food vendors, sometimes there's specific grills that can be used, ones that can't. Sometimes they have to cook in the truck, sometimes they fucking can't. So until he gets the permits approved, I can't move forward with anybody on anything anyway. So it's like we have to be in simultaneously, working together, but working separately, but knowing what the other one's thinking the entire time.
It's how many events had you done prior to this?
This one we did like, we got to say a good 40, 50 together for the first 3 years.
Yeah.
But then when I became the director, he left Insomniac and went to another company. So we actually we haven't worked in tandem like that for a good 3-4 years. I ran a Maxim event. He came and ran our artist hospitality. But then he got this and he called me and he's like, yo, I need you to do this with me. And then we went through it. I was like, all right, let's do it. It was iconic history. So I was like, yo, let's fucking do it. So this is
and
the first
it was cool because you were from New York.
Yeah,
so it was like
the whole thing.
It was like, Mike, I need you to run in your own town. Like, I don't know. Like,
but it was
it was
It
cool.
almost seems like if you wouldn't have had him, it would have been hard to restock those bars and like have somebody in a golf cart like taking sides.
I mean,
bro, if I didn't have, him, yes, but then I hired on Bree as my number 2, and without Bree, so like the 3 of us love working together because like she completes the puzzle. with how we break things up, because the F&B side is so massive that me and her can separate it out, and she can work with him just as well as I can, and me and her work so well together where it's like when the three of us run something, it's fucking crazy how it goes, and people like, yo, watching you guys is just
but it's so crazy because like there's like the elements of like even down to like how the staff treat the guests, like that whole experience. You have like, you know, when you're doing like VIP in that sense, you have a host that takes you to your table, and then you have a team of people that are literally waiting hand and foot on you to get you as blacked out wasted as you can be within 2 hours or 3 hours of being there, and all while getting tipped and being like having fun while doing it. There's a person that's like running them, and then you have the bar team that's fulfilling the orders, and like the runners that are getting the orders to the table because the people that are there do not leave. Like that whole like daisy chain effect. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people involved, and like Mike and Bree kind of just, I don't even know, they're like
masterminded.
Yeah, it's wild how we work together.
And then
we're polar opposites.
Oh yeah, Bree's like super chill. I'm like, here I come in, I'm like, oh my god, literally there's no ice, and she's like, calm down, bro, like seriously.
See, because you seem super chill right now.
No, yo, I have seen Myron lose it on people.
I mean, there's like,
I will stop and be like, was that necessary? And he is like, yeah, it fucking was. And he'll just storm off.
But there could be chaos everywhere, and I'll just be like, you know, cool, calm, like, oh, I got that. Oh, I got that. You know, oh, look at that. I got gaff tape in my book bag randomly. You know, like fix that. Then someone's like, you know what? There's a crack on the ground, and we need to cover it. Motherfuck! I hate this place. Ah! And I'm like leaving. The crack is on the ground. Like you can't do anything about that, bro. Like calm down. But yeah, Bree's super chill, and Mike and I, like, we kind of feed off each other. So like, it's either like Mike's freaking out and I'm like, take a deep breath, bro. We got this. Look at this. Look at what we're doing. We're like chilling. We're masters of the universe, you know, brain surgery type shit. Or I'm like freaking out and Mike's like, let's go take a walk. Eat this edible. Calm down.
So I think a lot of people's favorite story about me and Myron is when I first started working for Atomic, everyone made the joke that like I was the new guy in there, but me and Myron were clung at the hip. Everyone's like, oh, you guys like work husbands. So
oh, geez.
I'm gonna let you tell this story.
Okay. So, man. So I had met Mike a while ago, obviously, and this was going to be his first time working
for his first
EDC.
Vegas.
And we weren't going to have him come out until like a day before it started. Big mistake. So like here we are 2 weeks before it started, and we're like, fuck, we really need Mike here, but he doesn't even know that he needs to be here. And like we have nothing ready for him. Like he's just gonna come out here blind and having to work a lot of shit.
What was your title coming out?
I was the bar manager.
Okay.
But I never managed in my fucking life before. So I was kind of like, and this was the thing where they threw me to Marquis. And Marquis thought and this is where I met Bree, and Marquis thought I was doing this for a while, which was a complete fucking lie.
I know. Actually, you know, it's funny because like I was the same way, but Mike was like actually like he got promoted. He didn't even know it.
Yeah.
We were like, you know, you're just gonna bar manage, keep inventory, make sure that they have enough, and just like kind of manage two people doing bartending. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Literally, you're just making sure that those two people are bartending and that they have booze, all gravy. He gets there and they're like, by the way, we didn't order liquor, so do you know how to do that?
I had to put together the whole POS system, and I've never done that before.
We didn't set the prices in the POS. Can you do that? Also, we didn't hire a few people, key people. Can you do that? And we don't have any of the bar mats and like the lemons or limes, and I don't know any of that stuff. So I hope you can do that. And lastly, can you come out tomorrow? This is 2 weeks into this, right? And he's like, he wasn't expecting to be there. And they're like, all right, yeah, I can come out. I was like, cool. And then we're like, wait, he doesn't have a hotel room. We're in Vegas. So I called to put him on my room, and they were like, or no, did you come out? Oh, he was like an hour out, and our person that books our room was like, yo, you already checked in. We can't add anybody to your room. Like, it's not possible. You have to go to the front desk. Meanwhile, I am like 10 minutes away 20 minutes away because we were staying at a different place, but I didn't have time to leave. So nobody could convince the hotel to put him on the room. So I called the hotel and I was like, hey, here's the thing. I need to put somebody on my room. And she's like, no. I was like, ma'am, you don't understand. This is my boyfriend. And she's like, excuse me? I was like, this is my boyfriend. He doesn't know that I'm about to surprise him. I think I'm going to marry him. And what's going to happen when he gets there and he can't get to the room? And she's like, but you need to. I was like, but seriously, I really just want my husband, future husband, I'm sorry, my future husband in the room with me because I love him. And wait, meanwhile, everybody around me is listening to this conversation and I didn't know it. So I'm just like, all right.
Wait, it's like our whole team know of people because they're all going to a fucking nightclub. So it's everybody I work with too now that I still have yet to meet.
Yeah.
We're all, and the lady's like, ugh, oh, Jesus. She's like, I got to put you on hold. So I get on the phone with the manager and the manager's like, sir. And I was like, please tell me you're going to help me. And like everyone's crying. I'm like trying not to laugh. And he's like, yeah, you know what? She said it was going to. Can you just like tell me his name? I was like, his name is Michael. But I call him Mike. And he's like, all right. He's like, but I'm going to need a last name. I was like, Tableman. And she's like, what? Tableman. I was like table and all man. That is what he is. And she's like, okay. And so they add him to the room, right? And then we didn't hear anything of it. We're getting ready to go out. And Mike finally comes to to where we are, like just in time so we could all go to the nightclub because we had to introduce Mike. And he's like, yo, you will not believe what happened when I got to the hotel. And we're all like, what? He's like, first off, they were super nice. They walked me up to the room. And when I got in there was like a champagne bottle and strawberries. And like, it said, we good luck. And I was like, wow, this is like my first time being a bar manager and they are really taking out all the stops. And they're
all laughing hysterically.
We're all laughing.
I had no idea what the fuck happened.
And Michelle was like, yeah, because she think you're about to get the dick down by Myron and you guys are getting married tonight. And he's like, wait, what? So yeah, that was.
Oh my god.
So obviously everybody heard about it. So the ongoing joke was that whenever me and Myron would fight, because we would get into it a lot. Like, oh, the couple's fighting again, and it was the ongoing joke for like 3 fucking.
Yeah,
years.
he had a sign that said Myron's keeper because we were married. We were work husbands.
Yes. Table and all man.
I love that. Oh my god.
But yo, man, I gotta say, we've had some fun, but this man has really come through for me in a lot of different fucking situations. And like we've gotten each other like. He was the keeper as me just as much. Like you said, we would really get each other through where one of us was always going to run into some shit. That's just how the festival industry worked. But we always knew we had each other's back where if I was getting my ass fucking handed to me on the deck, Myron would be there to do POS systems or run a fucking bar or jump behind or like help seat people and shit like that if I needed it and then vice versa. So it was like one of those ways that I got to learn a lot was through him. But then we just really had this amazing work relationship within the family of people we work with. And it just continued to blossom as to now... we went from running these smaller shows to now being the head of a historical event.
Yeah, it was really dope. It's super supportive, like in seriousness. Like it's cool to feel supported by, good friends. And if you get the opportunity to kind of help your friends out and help them stretch what they can do, it's really dope because we have kind of bounced around and that Mike wasn't doing what this Mike is doing, and it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, to see the transformation of Mike and to hear, because him and I had similar experiences. So where are you at now? Like what happened during COVID, and are you still doing events, or did you branch off and start doing something else?
No, I'm working for a experiential creative agency. I'm what's my new title? What's my title? Director of Experiential and Multicultural Marketing.
Isn't the best part of LA? Like they'll make up a title because they're like, we don't even know what you do. So many.
I don't
things.
even know what you do.
Like,
my title is like 57 things long. It's like I am also IT. I clean the bathrooms. Like it's so much.
Like you said, you wear so many hats though now at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. COVID was crazy. I was lucky enough to keep my job throughout the whole thing.
Where were you at that same place, or?
I was at the same place, and I was doing kind of the same thing. We lost some people, and I took on like kind of like the social media. We did some news blasts. So, there's email marketing. I feel like I'm giving my resume over this like podcast. Yeah. So if you hear me, I can do everything. And then, we got into digital streaming and doing hybrid events. And so I've still gotten a chance to like kind of grow in what I can do. And it's been kind of cool. We just finished a concert like 2 days ago. LGBT.
Can you talk about that, or is it?
Yeah, you can talk about it.
What was it about?
It was Out Loud, Raising Voices.
Oh, I saw some Instagram posts about that. Your boy wasn't invited.
Oh,
I'm joking.
Mike was there, so that's that is his problem. That is his fault.
Last minute
I'm
thing,
joking. I'm
but
joking.
yes, I get it.
But yeah, it was a 3-day concert. It was in partnership with Twitch, and they had like 4.7 million views online, which is pretty unheard of, I guess, for like a concert on Twitch. And then it was at the LA Coliseum, so first event for me back, which is like, what the fuck? Like everybody's rusty.
Yeah.
Like people are like, I don't even know what credentials are. What is a credential board?
Right.
And they're like, how do you put this wristband on?
I went to Knott's Berry Farm the other day, and I didn't know how to talk to people. Like, the person working was looking at me like she's like, I don't know what I'm doing either. Like, good. This is great, man. But I feel like everybody is in that mood. Like, you just don't know how to interact because you used to being on Zoom and shit for so long.
It's weird.
I mean, try even an edible. You're like, is this real? Are you?
I don't need
actually?
I don't think anything's real.
Are you? It's crazy, and it is crazy. I mean, I'd say it's not quite like learning how to ride a bike or forgetting or whatever that saying is.
Yeah.
But it was definitely different. I was like, whoa. But I do know that it's like it definitely paid to go through all that tough shit that we went through, because like I have respect for every role at anything, like from security that is doing the door that we used to do, like to the concessions people, to like, the artists. Like it's all the way around. I have new empathy for, all of their roles.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I'm a lot nicer, which is shocking to everyone. But I think the year break was actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I feel like those are the best bosses, are the ones that literally have done everything. They've washed dishes, they've taken out trash, and they've done another door, bartended.
It makes it hard.
Yeah, but when you do, like it happened to me when I got when I got promoted to like a person of power, if you will, I was like a dick, because I just didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And then when you reflect and you go through certain situations, like, oh, okay, it makes sense, and you're like, okay, you just gotta. Everybody's working as hard as you are. You just gotta figure out your voice and not.
Yeah. And sometimes it's actually like you see people and you're like, oh my God, you have, like I see like Mike and all our other friends, and I'm like, oh my God, like they have that, I don't know, we all call it hustle, where you just like, I will tomorrow, can you put this commercial on? And we'll be like, what? Sure. How do we put on a commercial? Let me Google that real fast. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Tomorrow you'll get there and you'll be like, holy shit, you even got crafties.
Right.
If you know, now you know. So, and I think all of our friends have that. And when you notice that in somebody else, it's like, holy shit. So like, I think I used to be tougher on everybody is what I thought I was doing, because I wanted to see if they had it. But like now it's like, you don't have to be mean to people, and you don't have to be like aggressive to them. You just have to be like, I'm here, you're here, we have to do a job, and find that person. I just think now, after going through this concert for 3 days, like it's been a lot finding, what's that phrase? Finding, you can get more flies with honey than, like I see that now, because it was a rough 3 days, like I said, but just being there for people and like being nice was just like super rewarding.
Right. I think that goes back, for people coming out here and being scared of getting into the industry, any industry really, just put your head down, work hard. People will notice it.
Yeah.
It might take a couple years,
Yeah.
but people will remember that you worked your ass off. And you did all the dirty work, and they'll bring you back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just recognizing, like, Mike, we worked a few times together, and we weren't like the best of friends, but he knew that, we kind of just recognize each other's game, if you will, our hustle. So when he started reaching out to me after my accident, I was surprised, but it was because of that.
We all think a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's cooler to be able to come in and have dope conversations like this where it goes beyond the surface. But I also know when I'm talking about something where I'm having a hard time, you two get my perspective.
Yeah.
Because if I'm working on something and I'm not making it and I'm not getting somewhere, I've busted my ass and you both know it. So you're going to respect how hard I've been working.
Yeah.
And then you guys will help me, work through it. And that's a really dope friendship to have and concept to have between people. But I think we're seeing as we're getting older, common sense isn't so common. So when you
sure.
find dope people, it's, and like, this is why our event team, we all do everything together. This is why pretty much every major event in the U.S., we know somebody running it because it's the same small circle of people where, like, I know if I got something and I need a project manager, I'm calling him.
Yeah.
If he's got something big and he needs somebody to run an F&B that he can't handle, he's calling me.
Yeah.
And it's just we just know that's how it goes.
And that's the whole United States. Let's just say for United States, the service industry, it really, there's so many places, but the people that make up the best spots, it's a small circle.
Same.
And if you don't know someone in that spot, one of your friends will know them. And
Yeah.
I
I always wonder if there's another, like, who are doing the other events, because literally we're doing all of them.
But like, if you think of some of the biggest ones, like if we name, like, we do all the Maxims, we do all the Prides, collectively, Prides, all the EDCs, all the Rolling Louds, Con, TIFF, all the major film festivals besides
TIFF.
Sundance. We have a bunch of crew that does events all over Mexico. We've done events in Ibiza, in Barcelona, shit like that, like yachts. One of our good friends is just moving to France to run an entire estate and throw massive scale events for like royalty out there, where it's like,
I can't wait to go visit.
I can't wait to go work those. Like,
also,
like,
I hope she hires me.
Yeah, like,
if you're hearing.
But the amount of people that tell me, and this is where I try not to take it for granted, and I'm grateful. People like, you have my dream job. And I hear this constantly. I'm like, be careful what you wish for.
Oh my God.
Get into it, and you're gonna be singing a different
Some
tune.
of my friends don't even believe that what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're like, I can't wait. I want to do what you do. I'm like, wait. You need a good doctor, therapist, because it's gonna be some crazy shit. Good therapist.
And that's really what the podcast is about, is all the shit that people don't see. They see all the fun and the partying and the stories with the celebrities, but there's a lot of bullshit that we had to deal with.
Oh, insane.
And some are still dealing with.
Yeah.
To run, I mean, and we're basically throwing parties.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think about throwing a house party, you have to make sure everything was set, or people are going to talk about you at school. That party sucked. But not Myron's party, not that Bacardi Cola party. That shit was fire. I heard about that in New Orleans. I had a friend when I started on Bourbon Street. I'll never forget him. His name was Dave, but everybody called him Gay Dave. And I found out my first time ever in a restaurant, I'm kneeling down tying my shoe, and I look up and there's a crotch in my face. And I look up at him and he goes, "While you're down there." Like, that was the first introduction I got to Gay Dave, but we became like family, and he took care of me and he showed me the ropes. And the reason I thought of him is because when you said Bacardi Cola, that was his drink. And when I started bartending at this place, he would call it his husband. So he would come up and be like, he called me Peaches, by the way, too. He'd come up and go, "Peaches, let me get my husband." And I still, like, he was one of my favorite people ever. But when you said Bacardi Cola, totally random fucking story, but
I love it.
yeah. And he's another one that, like, he still calls me to this day to check on me, and he's the same dude. But yeah, good times, man. People in his service industry, like, that was my first restaurant job. It's just like,
I mean, I honestly think
that was like fucking over 20 years ago, and I still remember that. It sticks with you. The connections and the people that you meet.
Let's wrap this up, because Myron's been great. He's been hysterical, so I feel like we can go out with something really funny here.
I mean, I feel like I can keep talking forever, but I don't think
I feel like you got some stuff in the vault that needs to be heard. Just the story of you booking Mike for the room. That was fucking hilarious, man.
Oh my god, that was there's so many.
When you were talking about it, I just pictured like, oh wait, I can't wait to when he gets to the hotel.
It was great.
Everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you.
I know. I was like hoping that they'd like throw like rice and stuff at him. Like she's like, oh, you don't even know what's about to happen.
They have like Elvis impersonator, like with a Bible.
I should have got, like singing, like a singing telegram to like show up at the door, be like, hello, Mike. I can't sing right now, but like I just like, whatever.
Myron would bring me coffee, like especially if there was one time we were in New York and Briso, we got into like a screaming match in the hotel, and I don't remember what it even was about. But then I got to site, and Myron would show up with coffee, and he's like, "Okay, I was wrong. Give me the coffee." And that was like Myron's.
I mean, I'm the worst at arguing with my friends. I'm just gonna let you know. Nan, that girl, we went to Barcelona together, and I think her and I got into an argument about the room, and I like. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go book my own room. I get downstairs and they're like, oh, that's going to cost you like €300. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, but I do need towels. So they would, you could only buy towels in pairs or some shit. This hostel sucked. It was actually really fun. I take that back. So I bought 2 towels. I go upstairs and I was like, they wouldn't let me get another fucking room. I hate you. Here's a towel. And she's like, yeah, cool. Like, that was our fight. So I got mad again because she took the towel and didn't say thank you. I left. Of course, you have to buy one, get one. You buy a drink, you get another one. So I got her drink, took it upstairs. We're still fighting, by the way. I gave her a drink. I was like, I'm not talking to you, but here's a drink. And she's like, you're the worst at fighting. Yeah. Like, I would prefer you not talk to me or yell at me and leave, but you keep coming back with gifts. I'm fucking confused.
Yes.
We did. So I'm saying, I'm the worst at fighting because like you don't know if you're fighting. I'm yelling, but I'm still hugging you. Like it's weird. Oh. So I don't fight with my friends.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to hear my favorite Myron story?
Please.
Oh my god.
Shit.
I mean, I got several, but I think Middlelands.
Oh my god.
When you lost it on me.
Middlelands in New York?
No, so it was called Middlelands, right?
Oh,
Middlelands in Texas.
Ugh.
Okay.
I got 2 fucking hysterical stories from this thing, and we are in rural Magnolia, Bumblefuck, Texas. Like
people were walking.
A town of like 1,000 people.
This lady was walking.
But it's like an hour from Houston, Magnolia.
Yeah,
that's where my best friend lives.
Oh my god! So we were in. Yo, there was only like one diner. It was like, yo, man, this town was just sketch. Like
it was so weird. They only had one light. Yo, like that's crazy.
So the first story is we go to a bar, and it's me, Myron, our other friend Andrew at the time. I think Brandon and Miles were with us, and there's all these deer head around, and everybody stops when we walked into the bar because we had Myron and 2 other guys with us, black guys, and they're just all looking around. So we're all getting looks. So we get to the bar, and one of the guys is like, "What are y'all in town for?" We're like, "The festival." He's like, "We don't like what the festival brings." We're like, "What's that?" "Blacks, gays, and drugs." And Myron stands up, goes, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We're gonna get out. Get out." Myron's sitting there, black, fucking has a bunch of edibles, high as fuck, just like, I'm like, oh my god, this guy.
I was like, I'm black, gay, and I have drugs on me. Oh my god. I'm like your worst nightmare.
So now
in living form.
But here's a drink.
So now Middlelands was a medieval times festival.
Oh my god.
Everybody is dressed up. So I don't know where somebody dropped the ball, but they didn't put in the request in, so I didn't have security on my deck.
Oh shit.
So the richest part of the whole festival doesn't have security, and I got like 2 of my TSAs, like man in the ropes.
Oh my god.
So there's a guy that comes in there, and we kick him off the deck, and he comes back in, and I forget exactly what it is, and he pulls out his sword. And he starts swinging his sword at me. What?
Oh my God.
People are on drugs, and I kicked him off the deck, and he came back, and he wanted a fucking duel. And he literally has this inflatable sword. So now he's wailing it, and I literally, like, pin him up by the fucking neck, and I'm holding the sword. I'm like, what are you doing? And he loses it because he claims some porn star gave it to him, this chick Madison. And then she happened to be on the deck, so she walks down, and I'm like, hey, Madison, did you give this guy your sword? She's like, I don't know who that guy is. And he loses it because he like fangirled over her. So now he's like swinging away at me to get to her. So I have him pinned up, and then Myron comes up, and I'm like, Myron, just back up. I got this. But he's really pissed off at something else. So he's like, fine, you got this. Fuck you. Starts cursing at me, starts cursing at the guy I'm fucking pinning up.
Oh my God,
Takes
that's
a
so
fucking
bad.
stanchion, throws the stanchion across the VIP.
Shit.
And storms the fuck off. And we didn't speak for like another 6 hours.
It was very bad.
He fired like 3 people.
It was so bad.
Wow.
You know, that was the lowest. I actually will say that was the lowest that I had ever gotten because I was
Sorry for telling you, it
burnt
was
the
too
fuck
funny.
out. I mean, it's funny now.
funny now, but we
It's
did, like,
super
8
funny now
festivals.
because, like, first off, did I really throw a
Oh, yeah.
stanchion? I
Hey,
don't
so
even
what-
remember that.
What is like the craziest request for a party? Like somebody comes up and says, "I want to throw an event." Because this shit sounds crazy. Like in the middle of Texas,
Oh, yeah.
it's like a rave.
It's
you
a-
know, for
it's
people
a-
who don't know, what
It's a
parties are like, you know,
medieval,
it's a rave.
medieval rave.
A medieval
Fucking,
rave.
I mean,
what's his
I
name
was
from
dr-
Game of Thrones DJ'd.
Oh yeah, Hodor.
The mount. Oh, Hodor.
Hodor.
No shit.
Yo, Hodor.
killed it, though.
Hodor was
He was
literally
dope.
he was fire. Like this medieval
was good.
motherfucker was so cool. I wanted to be his friend, and he's on stage, and in the middle of it, he was like, "Hold the door."
No,
Hold
he
the
didn't.
door.
Yes.
He mixed it in, yo. Like it was so
And it was
crazy.
like right after that episode dropped too, after he died in the show. Sorry if I ruined that for anybody who has not watched Game of Thrones
I
yet.
mean, that was like 5 years ago.
Did he
It's-
mix in the opening theme song too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun, dun,
That's how he
dun,
comes
dun,
out.
That's how he comes out.
Dude.
He is so cool.
He was so
And he's
dope.
actually really
yeah, he's like
nice.
a really cool guy. We
He's
hung out
really
with him
nice.
afterwards.
We hung
I
out
always
with
hear
him.
about these types of parties, but I had never been to one. No, I
Mike,
mean, I've
you're a
been-
horrible friend, bro. Invite him.
He's coming to EDC Vegas
I've been to EDC one time, had a horrible time,
Why?
but I didn't know anyone. So
because he went to GA.
I went to GA.
Oh my God. Wait. That sounded so.
But this is like before Mike.
That sounded so bad. Not that you had GA. Like, no.
Yeah.
I think GA is awesome. Like,
No, it's not.
but
I don't do.
let me backpedal that real fast. GA is amazing. Without GA, we wouldn't have VIP.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to back that one back too.
I don't even think Mike was in LA when I went to EDC. Well, when did EDC start? It was.
Well, when did we started in like 2015?
But like, when did it actually start?
2011.
Vegas. Yeah,
2011.
so when
it was
I
in
went-
LA at Coliseum, right?
I went to EDC Vegas.
Oh,
It was my
you-
first one.
That was 2014. That was the year before, or that was the. I started the year after. You started the first year in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, I probably went in like 2015 or something.
This seems like a nice place to take a break.
All right, so Myron, I just gave you my favorite story. Give me yours, because bro, you've got a lot of crazy shit you've done, and we've done a lot of. There's so many things we can't talk about right
Wait,
now.
what is my favorite story or what?
Just what your favorite nightlife story, your favorite event story, some of the stupid shit we've done.
Oh,
I'm sure there was
I'm
something
trying to figure out one that I
Mexico.
actually can like not say people's names. 'cause,
There's
like,
a lot of things we
there's
can't
so-
talk about.
I
right
know. I
now.
was like,
there's
what's
so
off
many
limits?
stories
I also
can't
feel
wait
like
to talk about.
Madonna's never gonna hire me because like I was like, oh, you know. But I mean, I think she's cool, but just backpedal on that one too. So okay, Carissa and I were working a Halloween party. I don't know, for some celebrity. 2 things happened at this party. One, I think the celebrity was, and he wasn't really a celebrity, but like people know him. So, I mean, what is that? B or C or D or E or F? I don't know. One of those letters of celebrities. And there's a set of porta potties next to us. He goes into the porta potty with a girl, bangs her, which is first off fucking disgusting.
In a porta potty.
At a party that has what? He comes out, dick out and all, and was like, comes to the bar and goes up to the Carissa and was like, excuse me, can I get a drink? And she's like, excuse me, can you put your dick back in your pants? and he's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, first, what are you on that makes you forget that your dick is out of your pants? Second off, he was like, oh, do you know who I am? And she's like, wait, what? No. But here's a sheet of paper. Write your name down, and I'm going to Google you when I get home. That'll be $5. Like that whole interaction was like my first like celebrity part, like field party, and I was just like, oh, I had to Google him because I wanted to see how big of a celebrity he was. Like that's how much of a nerd I am. But I think that was a really funny experience I had. I mean, there's like pieces of paper going around the room.
Who was it? We could beep it out.
I don't know. It wasn't like a big actor at all, for real.
Do you recognize this dick hanging out my pants?
Remember when we were in Sundance and when we drove the wrong way down the side in the blizzard?
When we were going to...
We were going home from Tao at 6 a.m.?
I mean, I never remember what's going on at Tao at 6 a.m. at Sundance. It's a fun party.
We were driving back. We left Johnny sitting in the front, and Johnny found something in his pocket that he had when he was in like Istanbul.
Wait, was it Molly or was it mushrooms?
It was something weird, and he couldn't talk for like the whole night. So now we leave the party. He's sitting in the front. We have, I think, 15 people packed in the Suburban. It's 6 a.m.
Where are we going? We were going back.
So this was Kim Sundance. Kim rented me and Myron a very big house.
Oh my God,
Nice.
Kim used to get us. These houses were
Dope
crazy.
houses. So we threw parties. And all the booze we threw fucking parties. So there's this
We had the
massive
booze at our
after
house.
party.
It was like, first off, why would anyone trust these people who are throwing parties to live in a house with a garage with pallets of fucking liquor?
we threw
Talk
so
about
many
one of the
fucking
best
parties.
and worst times. You know what?
There was a hot tub,
Sundance
unlimited.
probably for most people was actually pretty fucking reasonable because you know what? They went to the parties. They would go home at 2:00. They would pass out until 10. But what did these degenerates do? We would have this house, right? That was massive. First off, I couldn't even Airbnb. Can you even find houses these big on Airbnb? I don't know, maybe now. But we had this house and we'd be like, at these celebrity parties, we would try to see how many people we could get that were celebrities or attached to some celebrities and be like, hey, we know of a party. And they're like, where? And we're like, here's the address. Just be passing it out to people. Then just go home and like just set up a bar. Or 4, because we have it. And then we wouldn't go to bed until...
Random people would show up. We didn't you know that president? I have no idea who the fuck that is.
We had some big ass parties.
Yeah.
We would have to be at work. Mind you, at Sundance, shit starts at like 6 a.m.
Oh no.
So
We press junkets.
2 to 4 is your prime time to fucking sleep.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
No.
Do that.
It was great. It was so great. But
Everybody in the services industry who's worked in the service industry just got that chill.
Yep.
Because we've all been there.
you're like,
We kept going, and
you're
there
like,
was so
wait,
many things.
I gotta work in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're
Take another
fucked.
shot and get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh
Take another
my
shot.
God. That was.
Oh man,
This has been a great fucking episode. So
Yes.
many stories of fun. My, thank you so much for being here, brother.
Thank you. I hope I accomplished what I came here for.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think we got.
I think we got it.
Nick is a genius. And
Yo, man. My, thank you again so much.
Thank
Yo, Danny,
you.
Take us out.
man, table all man.
See you guys next time on the Chaos.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Chaos Control, hosted by Mikey Tableman and Danny J. Gomez, producer and audio engineer Nick Dewar. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review on the Apple Podcasts app or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Join us next week for more chaos.